So that is supposed to represent the wrath of God. Sort of. Maybe. Well, today's video is a short one, and it's all about the wrath of God. You will remember that in the previous video we covered the first 17 verses of Paul's letter to the Romans, where he introduced himself to that church and also briefly introduced his topic, that of attaining the righteousness of God through faith. And this video will then begin to look, just briefly begin to look at the heart of Paul's message, which begins in verse 18 of chapter 1, in the section that I call Life Without Faith, or the Bad News. And that section I subdivide into three subsections. Subsection 1, our unrighteousness exposes us to the wrath of God. Section 2, we cling to 5 boasts to shield ourselves from that wrath. And 3, yet we are all in the same boat, hopelessly short of the righteousness of God, fully exposed to the wrath of God. The bad news indeed. And today we will just get to the first of those 3 subsections, a very short one, single verse long. And that single verse in my paraphrase version reads as follows: the wrath of God rains down on us from heaven every time we do something wrong or suppress the truth. That's it, a single verse. And as I had suggested in the previous video, I will be offering periodic discussion questions, and I have one right off for this single verse. What does Paul mean by the wrath of God? And my questions are open-ended. They don't have a right or wrong answer, so I will offer some possible answers here, but none of them are right or wrong. They're just meant as idea spurs. So by the wrath of God, Paul might mean that God is furious with us for our unrighteousness, and he wants to inflict punishment. Or the wrath of God, Paul might mean that God is disappointed with us for our unrighteousness, and he wants to discipline us. Or Paul might be saying that God is grieved that we are living such dismal lives, and he wants to help us find a way to live better lives, but we resist, and we, in a sense, we're feeling that grieve as wrath. Or 4, similar to number 3 but different, we feel guilt about our unrighteousness, and we project wrath from God when in fact such wrath may not actually exist at all. Or again, something else. You may sense the wrath of God as being something similar or different from what I suggest here. I'm not going to answer it further. I will leave it to you to ponder that question until next time, when I return for a lengthier video, which will begin to look at that middle section, a section that will take quite a few videos to get through, where we discuss the 5 boasts that we tend to use to shield ourselves from the wrath of God. Until then, thank you.